Welcome to our third virtual tasting. This one's a little special as we are focusing on our sparkling wine and movie box that we've sent out quite a few orders and have a few still available if you're interested. We are featuring 2 wines with our box, and we'll get into them a little bit, and then we will pass you off to learn all about the movie that we're featuring, as it's very close to our own hearts, called Almost Paris, produced by our owners, Tom and Cynthia Rosicki. So I'm joined here by General Manager Mike Falcetta. From our library for this tasting, we brought out 2 of our very favorite wines from the 2014 vintage. So we will be starting off with our 2014 Brut. We have about less than 60 bottles left of this wine, so it's almost gone forever. What do you think about it?
So this was definitely one of my favorite wines that we had produced, and we felt from the beginning that this was going to be a wine that was going to have some really good aging potential. And we've been working through this wine over the past couple of years. We're actually currently into the 2016 vintage of our Brut. And as Melissa mentioned, we're down to our last about 60 bottles of this. I know this for a fact, as I personally drove this wine over from our warehouse. So when these 60 bottles are gone, they will be gone. I will be sneaking off with a bottle for my own personal cellar at some point, as this is one of my favorites.
Yeah, this is a great blend. This is 60% Chardonnay, 40% Pinot Noir. We keep the lees aging short, about 1.5 to 2 years. We want to maintain a really kind of light, crisp, fresh style. What was always striking to me about this wine was the minerality. Some years in a warmer growing season, as the fruit hangs in the vineyard, we develop a little bit higher sugar levels, a little bit riper style wine, so you get more kind of bold fruit notes. In a cooler year like 2014, we're going to maintain a little more acidity in the wine, which gives you kind of more of this mineral-driven edge and this really kind of bright, mouth-watering acidity. This wine is definitely tasting great right now. It's a perfect time to drink it.
Yeah, I agree. I personally gear towards a lot of the wines, sparkling wines, especially the ones in our portfolio that do have a higher acidity. I find them to be very food friendly. As you can see, I like to eat, so wine that goes good with food is always definitely on my favorite platform.
All right, let's get into our second wine. We also pulled out from the cellar our 2014 vintage of Blanc de Blancs. We just released the 16 here in the tasting room, so this is going back about 2 vintages. Blanc de Blancs is 100% Chardonnay, meaning white wine made from white grapes. Again, that cooler year, we get a little bit more acidity to the wine, but we do age this one longer. So this is close to about 3.5 years aging on the yeast, which is going to bring in a little more of kind of a brioche, baked bread, kind of nutty character to the wine.
Yeah, so Blanc de Blanc is always a fun wine to try beside a wine like the Brut. It really shows what Chardonnay can do all by itself, but it also shows you the nuances of what bringing Pinot Noir into a sparkling wine does. Again, Blanc de Blanc is always a house favorite of mine. I always like a bit of those citrusy characteristics that shine through in these wines when we produce them. And then with the longer yeast aging, as Melissa had mentioned, we're going to get a little bit more of those complex and deeper flavors from that extended time on the yeast.
Yeah, I agree. I think right away when you taste this, you're going to get that same kind of linear quality, that minerality. But then this one has a little bit kind of broader mouthfeel. You get that creaminess towards the end where the Brut finishes very kind of lean and crisp. Here we let it sit on the palate a little bit, and it's a little bit more mouth-filling from that additional yeast aging time. So another great food pairing wine as well, I think.
Yeah, this is probably the first time I've tasted these wines in probably close to a year, and I got to say they're showing beautifully right now. So the Almost Paris movie night box is your only way to kind of get your hands on these wines right
True,
now.
yeah.
And we are down to our very last little bit of these wines. So make sure that you hop onto our website, sparklingpointe.com, look for our movie night box. You'll be in for 2 really, really good bottles of wine, and in addition to that, a really great movie, and get to see some of our own team members floating around in there, see who you can pick up when you watch the movie.
And coming up next, 3 stars of the movie, including our own Michael Sorvino, son of Paul Sorvino, who's been with the Sparkling Pointe team for 4 years, maybe longer, 5, 6 years. So they're like family to us, and they have some really great insights. This movie was a very personal project for them, actually based on Michael and his friend Wally, I believe their life kind of growing up. Tom and Cynthia make a little cameo, so I think you're really going to enjoy it. There is a gift card from Amazon to download the movie included in the box, although if you have Amazon Prime, you can already have the movie you can download for free, so use that $5 for another movie of your choice. So we hope you enjoy. And up next, our Almost Paris team. Cheers.
Cheers.
Good afternoon, all you wonderful Sparkling Pointe Wine Club members and our friends at home who are watching this, movie fans and people who are advocates of Almost Paris. My name is Michael Sorvino, one of the actors in the film and one of the producers. I'm joined by my colleague, fellow producer and star actor of the film, Wally Marzano-Lesnevich, who is also the writer of it, and our wonderful female lead, Abigail Hawk. I have a bottle of 2016 Blanc de Blancs here, which is pretty much my go-to Sparkling Pointe whenever I want to have a very refreshing, crisp bottle of Method Champenoise sparkling wine. This is my go-to.
And Abby, what are you drinking?
I have a Topaz Imperial 2017. Refreshing, goes with my shirt.
Very nice.
That's good stuff. That's a dry rosé.
I have
Very
a
excited.
2016 Brut. Michael, what can you tell me about this?
Combination of Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier, aged for 1.5 years on the Eastleys. Some lemon, apple, and pear notes on the nose, a toasted, creamy finish to it, a kind of a playful quality on the palate. It's most everybody's favorite. It's a crowd pleaser. The Blanc de Blancs, by the way, is, I don't know if you can see that. That's the Michael pour right there.
Mm.
In fact, I was a little light on myself. 100% Chardonnay. It's about 3 to 4 years aging on the lees usually. That's the Michael pour right there.
Hawk has returned to the
I've returned.
Well,
and, it's very, very crisp and refreshing. Lovely, lovely notes to it.
shall we toast everyone who has gotten the film bubbly box?
Yes.
We absolutely shall. And thank you
Definitely.
for doing so.
Yes, thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Salute.
Merci.
Ugh, that is tasty.
Gilles Martin, you've done it again. The Blanc de Blancs is magnifique.
If
So
there's
this is
Yeah. If there's one thing I can say about quarantine life, that should have happened earlier.
it's always a good time.
Yeah.
There's never a bad time. So today and right now is the right time.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
And thank you to our executive producers and the owners of Sparkling Pointe, Cynthia and Tom Rosicki.
Absolutely.
40 years.
Without them, this would not have, well, most likely would not have happened.
Yeah.
It started as a conversation on the back porch of the Point one night, having some drinks after a long day's work as half a joke about getting into a play that I was possibly financing a play I then thought I was doing, and they took it seriously. And suddenly, within a few weeks of that, the play didn't need any money, which is the first and only time I've ever heard that about a theatrical production. And then, as luck would have it, Wally, my good friend who I've known since 6th grade, and we come from the same town of Tenafly, New Jersey, where he is right now, and I'm 2 towns north of that, and we're both hunkering down with our families to ride this out.
That's right. Abigail, I think you're hunkering down with your family as well, correct?
I am, yes, out on Long Island.
We should take this break in the action to say that we hope everyone who's watching this is safe and healthy. And
absolutely.
That's right. Absolutely. Yes.
And getting Sparkling Pointe wine delivered.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes. That'll get you through the hard times. No question about it.
Order some.
But just as I was saying, just to finish the kind of genesis of it, for those of you who don't know, Wally happened to pass me a script around the same time that he had told me he was writing for the last few years. And he told me he had written a role for me to play in it. And I kept being curious about this, but he wasn't finished until he was. And he happened to send it to me. And that script became what is now Almost Paris. I went back to Tom and Cynthia and said, could this be a movie instead of a play? And oh, by the way, it's going to cost a bit more money too. And they said, sure, whatever. And Tribeca 2016.
That's right.
Was our world premiere 4 years ago today, Wally, is that right?
4 years ago today.
4 years ago today at the old Bowtie Cinemas in Chelsea, New York on West 36th Street, I believe.
That's right, an official Tribeca Film Festival selection. We sold out the tickets to that screening in less than 4 minutes when they went on sale about a month prior, if my memory serves.
And by the way, if you haven't seen the film yet, keep your eyes peeled for a cameo by the owners of Sparkling Pointe, Cynthia and Tom Rosicki, in a scene that Abby and I are in. Abby,
and the crew was phenomenal, working
hard work
like that.
The crew is the unsung heroes of that.
Absolutely.
Just wonderful people, and honestly, I think all of us are still friends with all of them socially, on Facebook and other places. And actually, our AD, Melissa Watson, if she doesn't mind me shouting her out on this, she is currently working with me on Blue Bloods. I don't know if you knew that. Did you guys know that?
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Oh my God, breaking news. That's amazing.
She's a phenomenal production assistant on Blue Bloods, and she's already made herself completely beloved and necessary. We're not surprised. Consummate professional. Everyone just was. It's a great film. I can't say enough about it. And even 4 years later, it makes me happy. So
that's so nice to hear from a producerial standpoint. And I'll tell you guys, like for all of you watching at home who may not be familiar with the industry or may not know somebody in it, it is very rare to actually continue to be in touch on a regular basis or even a semi-regular basis with people that you've worked with on one project or another. Once in a while it happens, and maybe it happens once in a great while, maybe you'll cross paths again. It's very rare to be in, often contact with several people at least from that particular one. And this one, I can tell you, I've worked on a lot of projects. My family's in the industry. I grew up in this industry, and I've worked with a lot of different people. And I can say that luckily I've been fortunate enough to make some friends along the way that are still friends to this day. I don't know of another project though where I still talk to as many people and call them friends and have a rapport with them as I did from Almost Paris. And that's rare, and it's something, and I'm grateful for it.
We're a unicorn, guys.
A white elephant.
Yeah, listen,
it's a white elephant, as my father would say.
Well, I hope everybody has enjoyed this, and I hope everybody enjoyed the movie. Oh, look at that!
Shirt.
Oh my
shirt. It's Paris, almost.
That is Paris.
I'm glad we got a shot of that. Look
at that. Well done. And we hope everybody
has like so many people's screensavers now. It's going to be terrifying. So you're welcome. I expect to be,
credited.
Yeah.
Royalties. Yeah, there you go.
We hope everybody enjoys the movie and stays safe.
Yes. Cheers to your health.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Please, everybody, stay away from each other even while you're doing things together, and wash your hands, which I'm a big proponent of, even in normal circumstances. Everybody who knows me can tell you that.
Right.
Bit of a germaphobe. But please, and really our hearts go out to all the people who are dealing with this hard
Yes.
time, and
Yeah.
the people on the front lines in the healthcare industry, and the grocery workers, and the farmers, and the truckers, first responders. You are the true heroes, and we could not be still as healthy as we are without you. So hats off to you and cheers to you.
And stay safe and enjoy the movie, everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you for watching Almost Paris. We hope it brings a smile to your face. Cheers, everybody. Salud.